man, there's plenty of plants that want to grow other than carrots. I could, if I was a chemical user, I could spray the carrots with a light diesel oil, which is the herbicide that's used for carrots. They'll tolerate a light diesel oil and grow through it. But spray diesel oil on my soil, it just doesn't really appeal to me at all. So we weed. There's a little weed. You know, it's pluck, pluck, pluck. And there's people who are much better at it than I, and I hire them. We farm plants and we farm animals, but we farm microbes, and we try to keep them happy.
It's easy to look at soil and think it's just dirt, but there's so much life in soil. Organic matter is important because it's like a savings account. It holds moisture when it's dry. It's able to shed water if we have too much water. It holds nutrients for when the plants really need it for a slow release.
In organic farming, the focus is on building soil and on building these natural webs of biological communities.
Behind me, there's a 7-acre field, which is mostly in clover and timothy grass, and then a little bit of on the top side, which is in row crops. And so every year we'll rotate the row crops into the cover crops, and so we don't have those pest diseases build up, and we are building fertility and microbiology ahead of the crop that we are going to plant.
I'm really trying to get to a 50-50 point where I'm growing crops on half the land and soil building crops on the other half. 75-25, you're beginning to veer toward exploitation. 100% cropping, no cover crops, no soil building crops. You're paying college tuition for a few years, but you can't get away with that.
Organic farming is something that has been popularized and disseminated by a group of people who cared very much about doing things better. Better for our environment, better for our communities, better for the farmers and the workers on the farms. So by being certified organic, I am putting a vote forward for how vegetables are grown, how milk is produced, what goes into our soils and our water right here in Vermont.
We endorse certified organic as being the ultimate goal of growing. It's like, for us, like a badge of honor, meaning we're doing the best we can to protect the environment, to protect people's health, and to grow a good tasting, good looking crop.
I love picking tomatoes. I like eating tomatoes more though.
Certified organic is an umbrella that we are under because we choose to be under that umbrella.
For those of us who are producing organic products, we go through a very rigorous certification process every year, and we care a lot about the fact that what we do can be held up to the highest standard and that people can feel really secure about what they're purchasing.
I like that color.
You know, the consumer, when they see that certified organic seal, it's a trust issue for them. So they can just say, great, certified organic from this farm, that farm, you know, I know what I'm getting.
People invent ways of meeting the standards. They create new techniques and new products in the practice of organic production.
I think there's a tremendous amount of creativity in the organic farming movement. There's a lot of younger folks who have different ideas about how to do things.
We need millions of young farmers, and they're stepping up.
been important to get them tuned into the agricultural community, to get a feel for how their food is grown. And some of them go on to be farmers, and some of them go on to be chefs, and some of them go on to be brain surgeons. Plus, we're growing, I think we have 550 something different varieties of vegetables, 100 and something heirloom tomatoes. So there's a lot of handwork involved in picking and sorting and planting. One of our major challenges is having a healthy living wage for our workforce and still being able to produce something that's affordable, not just to the elite, but to the working people.
I'd love to see the trend continue in the affordability direction and the accessibility direction, because I think the more people can access it and taste it, the less intimidating the actual term organic can be.
We have a number of members of our CSA that are really, they're social justice advocates, and for them, organic farming is a social justice issue, both in terms of pay equity and fair treatment, but also state worker safety in the fields, and those are critical issues.
I think as an American public, we've gotten really used to the idea of trying to buy our food as inexpensively as we can, that's where you try to have your savings.
Well, you got to pay for what things really cost. Food, you can have cheap food, but you can only have cheap food for so long. People understand that you pay now or you pay later.
By buying organic products, they're voting with their checkbook or with their pocketbook to say we support organic food and the cost of production.
That's $3.25.
One of the things that has evolved from the organic certification is its relationship with food safety, which is a big issue these days. And I think the certification process has been sort of at the forefront of food safety.
If you're looking for really clean, good food, and you want an assurance or no GMOs, then your gold standard is really organic and locally grown.
The vast majority of our food has GMO, corn or soybean or other ingredients in it that we're already eating. I think if we start to see food as part of our health care, that even if it's only buying a few organic products, whether it's meat or milk or eggs or some vegetables, that there are ways to positively improve our family's health by buying organic food.
Some of the early sort of first-time consumers of organic products are buying organic milk. Particularly mothers, once they're done breastfeeding, they're thinking about, well, what's the best thing that I can give my child? And through education and awareness, they're realizing that that's a really important transition into their diet. So, I'm just thinking about it, it's kind of humbling to be able to be part of that process, really.
As people are tuning in more, they're asking more questions, they're asking their stores more questions, they're asking the people that produce the food questions, and that's a healthy dialogue.
I see organic farming as a movement with greater goals than simply providing food, which is a huge lofty goal to begin with.
To be able to farm and to be able to farm in a way that you believe 100% about what you're doing it's great for your overall well-being, and to be rewarded for that in the marketplace is what more could you really ask for as a farmer?
No, I think it's a smart idea. If this guy wasn't here taking my pictures, I'd be taking. Heck, I'm on TV, watch out. Oh, fame comes cheap. Income is much more difficult to obtain in this business. All right, catch you later, Emily.